and in this particular lecture we are going to talk about the NumPy basics. Okay, we are going to have the understanding of the NumPy basics that we have. So basically what NumPy basics are, so we are going to know some important functions, methods that are available in NumPy that we are going to use in our projects. And also the NumPy basics, these kind of functions are heavily used in the all kind of projects that you are going to make in your future. Okay, so make sure you understand this in very detail. So let's first of all have the import NumPy as np. So what this statement is going to do, it is going to import all the functions, libraries and classes and all of the things that is related to NumPy. It is going to be imported here, and we can use those functions directly by just typing np dot, and your function is going to be appear up. Okay, and np is something that is known as alias that we are using to use the NumPy as a shorthand. Okay, we don't need to write NumPy every time, we will be using np to write NumPy. Okay, so let's move forward. So just type import NumPy as np, and then what you have to do, you have to, let's talk about the creating arrays, how we can create arrays. Okay, how we can create arrays using NumPy. So first way is that we can convert the existing list into arrays. Okay, we can convert existing list into arrays, and it's a very simple process. Just type np.array and you will be having a my list here. Okay, just pass the existing list into array and it is going to convert the whole list into array form. And now as you can see, it has been converted into array form and it is showing us like this. Okay, in the same way, let's have the nested Python list. We can also change it for nested Python list. Let's say 1, 2, then we have 2, 3, then we have 3, let's say 4, 5 or something. So let's run this code, and if I say np.array, and we are going to have the nest of it. Okay, so it is going to give you a result array 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it is a 2-dimensional array. As you can see, there are 2 brackets here, that means it's a 2-dimensional array. Okay, so that is why it is a 2D array here. In the same way, you can create 3D array, 4D array, whatever array you want to create, but in the normal way. But if we talk about the real world scenario, we don't convert Python list into array. It's a very rare form, or sometimes we need this functionality. But in the real world, whenever we want to create an array, there are other easier ways to get those array to work with us. Okay, so let's talk about the other methods that we have to create array. The one method is a very similar to range method, which is called as arange. Remember the range method from Python? It's exactly same what arange is. What it is going to do, it is going to return evenly spaced value within a given interval. That means, in the same way, you have to get start, stop. Okay, if you give like start like 0 and stop like 10, it is going to give you the elements between 0 and 10. Okay, and it is not going to include 10 because it is going to give you the number of elements. It matters with the number of elements. Okay, the same thing is done with the range method that we did. And also, if you give some kind of step size, you can give it, and it is going to skip the one element in between. Okay, you can give 3, you can give 4, whatever you want, you can give it. Okay, in the same way, we have something known as the zeros. Okay, it's a very good functionality that sometimes we need the any kind of array that is only having zeros in that. Okay, so if we say np.zeros, it is going to give us 0, 0, 0, and as you can see, it's a decimal here. Okay, as you can see, it's a decimal here, and because its default data type is decimal. Okay, because its default data type is decimal, as you can see, d type is equal to float. You can change that if you want. You can change that. You can say d type is equal to int, and it is going to give you the integer zeros here. Okay, so it's a very useful one. And also, you cannot just do this. It's a 1D array. It's a one-dimensional array. You can also create multi-dimensional, but by giving the shape here. If you just give the shape here, it is going to give you the multi-dimensional array filled with 0. Okay, if I say 3, 4 or something, it is going to give us that also. Okay, whatever you provide, it is giving you the 2D array this time. Okay, so it's a very useful one. Zeros are going to be very useful in the in our projects. And again, if I say ones here, the same thing we can do for ones. Np dot ones 3,4, it is going to give you the array filled with ones. Okay, and it is also very useful one, and we'll be using that in the projects. Okay, then we have something called as linspace. Okay, something called as linspace. And what linspace does, it returns evenly spaced number over a specified interval. Okay, it is going to return evenly spaced number over a specified interval. That means you will be giving an interval here, start and stop, and then it is going to give you the then you have to give the numbers as the parameter. Okay, and what this number includes, what this number represent is whatever the start and stop that you're giving, it is going to give you this number of elements between this interval. Okay, this number of elements between this interval which is evenly spaced. That means the difference between two numbers will be exactly same the difference between the other two numbers. That means if I say let's see it, if I give the start as 0 and stop as 10, and if I say I want four numbers between it, so I'm basically saying that I want four numbers between 0 and 10 that should be evenly spaced. That means the difference between two numbers should be same every time. If I say like this, it is giving us this particular result. So basically what it is doing, it is giving us four numbers: 0, 3.333, 6.6667 and 10. So if you calculate the difference between these two, is going to be exactly same the difference between these two. The difference is going to be 3.333 only. Okay, and it is going to be exactly same between these two. And if I say I want five numbers between them, so it is going to give you 0, 2.5, 5 point, 7.5, 10 point. That means the difference between 0 point and 2.5 is exactly same the difference between 2.5 and 5.0, and it is going to be exactly same between 5 point and 7.5. And as you can see, the difference is 2.5 between each of the consecutive elements. Okay, so the difference between these two is 2.5, the difference between these two is 2.5. So what it is basically doing, it is just giving you the numbers between two numbers, okay, which are evenly spaced. The difference between the two numbers is going to be same every time. You can say 100 and I want the 10 numbers between them evenly spaced. Okay, and it is going to give you the 10 numbers. If I say 101, then it is going to give you the numbers. Okay, and if I say 11 numbers, then it is going to give you the 11 numbers, as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the difference between them is 1 every time. If I say 6 numbers I want it, so it is going to give the same thing: 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Between 0 and 10, the 6 numbers which is evenly distributed is this. Okay, so that is what linspace does. That is what the functionality of linspace is. Now let's talk about one more important concept, not concept of any important method, that is called as identity method. Okay, so we have np.I for that. What is identity matrix? Remember what is identity matrix? Identity matrix represents a matrix that have one in a diagonal form. Okay, it is going to be, the ones are going to be in the diagonal form. So if I say np.I5, it is going to give us 5 ones in the diagonal form. That means whatever the number that you are going to present here, those many ones are going to be there in the matrix in the diagonal form. Remember that. Okay, so now let's talk about the random methods, and that is going to be used heavily in our projects. So it is having np.random, and it is having many functionality that you can implement here. Many functionality. It has rand n, rand integer, random integers, random sample. There are many. Let's talk about some of them. If we talk about rand, let's talk about rand. And np.random.rand, what it is doing, random values in a given shape. It is going to give you random value in a given shape. Okay, so if I say I want random value in a one-dimensional form, I want 4 random values in 1D array. So it is going to give you 4 random value in 1D array. Nothing is considered while creating this array. Not singularity, not ascending, not descending, not difference, nothing. Okay, if I run this again, it is going to give you the other numbers. If you run this again, it is going to give you the other numbers. There is no criteria of giving it. It is just giving you the random values between 0 and 1 every time that you pass it here. What you can do, you can also give a shape here if you want. You can say 3,4. I want random values in a 3 by 4 matrix between 0 and 1, and it is going to give you that. Okay, then this is basically this. What this is, let me tell you what this particular thing is. It is called as standard distribution. Okay, sorry, not standard, it's a uniform distribution. As you can see that here, creating an array of the given shape and populate it with random samples from a uniform distribution over 0 and 1. And I'll be talking about uniform distribution and standard distribution, don't worry, but for now let's just understand that it is a uniform distribution. Then what it is going to have, let's talk about the standard distribution. So it is the uniform distribution, sorry, it is the uniform distribution. Okay, and then we have the standard distribution. Let's talk about the standard distribution, how you can create the values between 0 and 1 in the standard distribution. Okay, so let's talk about it. So basically, to get help with this, to implement standard distribution, we are going to use something known as np.random.randn. And standard distribution is also called as normal distribution. So if I say like this, return a sample from a standard distribution. Okay, and as you can see here, let's not talk about this, it's a very long one. So basically, random.rand, and it is going to give you the random numbers between 0 and 1, not basically 0 and 1, it is going to be centered around 0. Okay, and it is going to be centered around 0, and the variance will be equal to 1 and mean will be equal to 0. Okay, it is written here here inly. Okay, let me show you where. So let's move down, and it is, yeah, as you can see, if positive integer are provided and generates an array of shape, whatever the shape that you're going to give, with random float sampled from a univariate distribution, that means a Gaussian distribution of mean 0 and variance 1. Okay, mean 0, whatever the collection of elements are going to be there, the mean is always going to be 0 and the variance is going to be 1 every time. Okay, so let's have the number. If I say 5,5, it is going to give you the 5 by 5 matrix of the numbers. It is going to be centered around 0, and the mean is always going to be 0, and the variance is always going to be 1. If you calculate the mean of it, it is going to be 0, and if you calculate the variance of it, it is going to be 1. If I say something like 4, just 1D array, it is then again going to give you this particular output. Okay, so that is why it's a very useful one, and we are going to talk about it in a much more detail later on. Although just know about it for now, it is just to know that rand n is used for standard distribution and normal distribution, and rand is used for what? Uniform distribution. Okay, so now let's talk about np.random. Okay, .randint. It is just going to give you a random integer number between any particular interval of time, any particular interval. Okay, it's give random integer between low and high, and high is always exclusive. You will never get 100, you will never get the random 100 value. Okay, if I say np.random.randint, it is going to give you the random number between it. If I run this code again, it is going to give you the another random number, but 100 is never going to come. If you are expecting 100, then you have to give 101, because the end part is never included. If I run this code again, it is going to give you the random number between these two numbers. Okay, so it's a very useful one again, and you can also do like this. If you want 10 random numbers between a particular interval, so you can give 10 here. Okay, you can give size here that you want 10 random numbers between these two intervals. Okay, so that is how you're going to do for the random and rand int. And you can also, what you can do is, you can also give a shape here that I want 2 by 3 matrix of the random numbers between 1 and 100. Okay, so it is going to give you the 2 by 3 matrix, 2 rows and 3 columns. So this is very handy in our projects, and it is also going to help you in many ways in our projects.
To change your